This is the Holy Assumption Cathedral. It's an Orthodox church, Russian Orthodox. Bizarre intense case. This is the kebab place that I just had a sandwich made. This is from Government Square here. Great waterfall. Small water device here is 180 feet long. Here's another water feature, pretty close by to the previous one. Distance there is called the Crying Mother Monument. This is the Crying Mother Monument, dedicated to the 500,000 people who lost their lives in World War II. Now in the city of Kiva, this is our hotel. It used to be a madrasa, which is a school for Islam, where people are trained to be imams. Here's another view of the hotel. The buildings in this city of Kiva were built mainly in the 1600s. This is now the view of Kiva from on top of the tower. And off in the distance there, about 300 yards, is our hotel. This is the view now, looking north out into the desert. Alright, just came back down from that tower, 115 steps up there. Extremely steep and dark. This is the eastern entrance to the city. There's a morning bazaar here. I get that. What you're selling here is some sort of device to make bread out of. Indication is that they get it off of trees. There's a material again that comes off a tree. They're using the seeds from it to make some kind of bread. There's corn for sale. There's wheat. This is an outdoor oven here, but you're just starting a fire on with some cardboard. I just bought a piece of bread or something that was made in here.
6, 7, 8, or 9. One piece of wood.
One piece of wood to make this thing. There's 9 different positions. These devices here are used for sleeping outside and for eating outside. Takes 4 craftsmen 6 months to make this, and you sell them for $50,000 carpet making shop. We have young girls here. Sundays, and they're all dressed in their Sunday best. This is a mausoleum of a king 300 years ago. It's now late morning. There's a million people around. All the young girls are posing for me here. Beautiful dresses. 2 well-dressed Uzbek ladies. And embroidered. It's now an individual house. So well right there. And that over there is their oven for baking bread. Some of the local kids. Here, this is a wall. You have an outer city, inner city. All the sites are inside this wall. I'm having this guy here fix the sole of my shoe. It's all worn down. Can fix for about $1.25. Gluing it on. Kid with a huge wad of money. Massive marketplace here. This is the interior courts of one of the palace rooms of the king of a couple hundred years ago. And up in the second layer there, the harem girls would live. This is a claimant's room. If somebody had a complaint about somebody violating the Quran or anything that was violated about the Muslim religion, they would come in here and be judged. Off in the distance to the left is the building we just in. This here was a very small mosque used by the king and his family and government officials who would come. Went off the top tower about 50 feet in the air. There's our hotel over there. And overlooking the whole town. Here's yet another madrasa which had been turned into a hospital in the late 1900s. This map shows where the Silk Route had gone. It's considered the start of Rome. Left. Ended up way in China on the right. And the crossroads, there were several Silk Roads. Crossroads is here in Uzbekistan. Kiev is the first city, which we're in today. Tomorrow we go to Bukhara. And then we go to Samarkand and back to Tashkent, where it started 2 days ago. And another branch had gone down to Delhi, to Agra, where Taj Mahal is. It started about 500 years before Christ, but it was its heyday in the Middle Ages. That's the far east end of the city. We're here at the far west end. There again is that 185-foot tall minaret that I climbed this morning. Another view of the minaret from a different angle. Ladies are here studying my book for English and Uzbek. The sun is just beginning to set, so the colors are quite beautiful. This is now in the city of Bukhara. Quite a bit different architecture here, different colors. This building from 1620. There's another mosque off in the distance. And yet another. Nobody's here now. It's only about 6:45 in the morning. Except for the birds. This is a prayer hall. This is now the spot that I just had shown from about 200 yards away. This here is a mausoleum that was built in the 9th century and then covered up for about 600 years and uncovered again. This is another mausoleum built in the 1200s. This is a mosque here now built in the 1712 to 1713, built for the emir, which had his palace about a block away. It's supported with 20 wooden columns, imported from India. This is now the inside. This is the main palace of the emir of the Uzbek Khanate, it was called, sort of like a country. There's a palace here from about the 1st century on till 1920, till the last one left. They're Uzbek ladies. Very colorful dress. Now I'm inside a 15th century mosque that was in early this morning. And there are only birds here. There's the same view from a little bit different angle. This is the Zindan, medieval jail, where lots of torture took place. Prisoner down there, about 20 feet down. It's now early the next morning, about 7 o'clock. This is a minor madrasa, or Muslim school, built in 1807. Chior Minor. There's a little pool in front of it, so here's a reflection of it. This is away from tourist area, quite a ways away. Just locals are showing up here. Street cleaning in the morning here. Grass is in early morning here. Some local Uzbek women, well dressed, touring it. Now about 20 miles outside of the city of Bukhara, this is a 16th century mausoleum. Well, this began in the 1600s or 1500s.
Showing off, he's showing off. Pavo real. Pavo is Turkey, and this one is pavo real.
We're inside a mausoleum now here. It's a famous old tree. There's an outside restaurant now. So when the Uzbek ladies having their lunch, a big lunch. This is the summer palace of the emir, also the king. This is called the White Room, built in the late 1800s. Now in the city of Samarkand, this is the Mausoleum of Gur Emir, like a king. Background is a moaning of prayers. Of course, it's nighttime now, about 9 o'clock. This is now the next morning in Samarkand. This is the Bibi Choran complex built in the 14th and 15th century. It's not going to be the mausoleum of Amir Timur. This was last night I took the videos.
It was built by the Iranian master. We can go, it's an Iranian style. Especially almost all the historical monuments constructed by the Iranian master. Of course, our masters also worked, but at the head worked the Iranian.
Let's go.
This temple here is of this man who lived, let's see, from 36 to 1405. And he had these kingdoms extended from Samarkand where we are now, all the way down as far as Delhi, India, way over to Istanbul, Turkey, then called Constantinople. This is now inside the mausoleum itself. This is a tomb of the Emir along with his son. All the decorations have been redone as most original as they figured. This is in 1945 by the order of Stalin. Originally, it was done with 200 kilograms, about 500 pounds of gold. Now it's just gold paint. By gold paint, they mean actual gold mixed with water, so you screen a thin layer of gold on it. Now back on the outside, on the opposite side that was shown earlier. So the sun is on this side.
These are the all original without any reconstruction works. So why I talk about the son of Baltic, because there is today located.
This is the massive Uzbekistan square. This is a madrasa, or Islamic school, built originally in the 1400s, but there was an earthquake in 1866, so the second story here was reconstructed. It's actually here about 150 feet on the side. And the fourth side here. Here next door is another madrasa, built in finished in 1660. It's now an interior of another madrasa. The ceiling appears to be a dome, but it's painted to give that illusion. Another view of the main madrasa we were first in, but from a different angle now. There's a second madrasa.
La que me dejaba mi yerno, que es como esto, más o menos, pues única. Ah, perdido.
Ese es mi con.
Here in the square is yet another madrasa, the third one, built in 1620s by the Iranians. Iranians in those days are called the Persians. This is now the madrasa from the inside. Again, this one is about 150 feet square. This is now a distant view of the whole complex. Far distance is probably 200 to 50 yards away from here. This is now the interior of the mosque that I had seen earlier this morning. It's at sunrise. This one is definitely not reconstructed in the interior. That would have been original, but not very colorful. This huge 6 foot, 7 foot wide device is used to hold a car, built in the 15th century. With the mosque behind that, just short from the end. We're now what was originally a cemetery 100 years ago. It's been turned now into cemetery, mosque, madrasas. Cemeteries on this side here. Steps here from the 14th century. Very beautiful passageway here.
What was the problem? What was the conflict? Want to investigate?
Very narrow.
¿Os habéis enterado cuál era el conflicto?
So we, in order to learn historical is in depth, we are dividing it in 3 parts: lower part, middle part, and there is the upper part. So especially the historical monuments which is constructed here, they are devoted to the ladies. So men are lying at the mausoleum of Amur Timur, ladies are lying.
So all along this alleyway, these are mausoleums. The original, not reconstructed, built from the 14th to 15th, 16th century. Yet another mausoleum. These tombs without ceramic were the oldest. They were built in the 11th century. 1,000 years ago. So looking now back in the other direction in which we came from.
The important store was made in 1404, 1405.
Again, that's looking back from the direction in which we came. Through this passageway.
Burası tersiz. Bak.
وتلك حجتنا آتيناها إبراهيم على قومه نرفع درجات من نشاء.
These are now modern tombs. Well, I just arrived in Helsinki, Finland. Just got off the ferry from Tallinn, Estonia. There's some cathedral over there. It's the harbor. It's right at the dock here. They're selling fresh fish. This is the Lutheran Cathedral in Helsinki, completed in 1852. This is the inside. The inside. This is the Uzbekistan Cathedral, built in 1860. This is Russian Orthodox Cathedral. It's now a view from right underneath it. I'm now in Tallinn, Estonia, just across the Baltic Sea from Helsinki. It's a great medieval town. This is just a slightly different view from 100 yards away. Tons of old medieval buildings. This is the bastion, built in the 1470s. Walls in the bottom are up to 12 feet. This is Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, Russian Orthodox Church, built in 1900. This original Catholic church is now a Lutheran church, built in the 15th century. Tower in 1779. This is now a view of the old town. This looks out there to the Baltic Sea. This church tower there is very close by to my hotel. All the streets are very twisting and winding. This is now a much better view of the old town.
Так, не залезай, Тёмка. Олег.
It's a new town off in the distance, modern city.
Я с другой стороны, где нет картины. Смотри! Тёма, посмотри! Посмотри! Вау! Фоткай, фоткай!
There's a narrow little passageway going through the old town walls. Out to the street below. Street itself. Looking up at a church beyond. And down the street. This is the main square of the town. This building here is the town hall, finished in 1404. Building apparently built in 1410. This church here was built about 1400. These are preserved tombstones from the 1300s and 1400s. It's a very old looking building, a lot of solid wood. This is one of the towers of the old city wall. Here's the town hall again. Different angle now. Early in the morning now. This device here shows how the little farming village out in the countryside of Latvia, Lithuania. Estonia are all very flat. It's a little Latvia town. Must be their town hall. I think there's probably a state farm from Soviet era. Big, huge operation. This is now in the old medieval town of Vilnius, Lithuania. It's a church here. Must be a rough and Orthodox church with the cross over here. This is St. Michael's Church. I don't know how old it is. This is St. Anne's Church, built in the late 1400s. It said Napoleon loved it so much he wanted to take it back to France in the palm of his hand. This is the Vilnius Cathedral, rebuilt about 1801. It's 9:15 at night now. Still Still daylight. This is the National Philharmonic Hall. Lit up at night about 10 o'clock at night now. This is Valley Farm in Lithuania. On the bus. Off in the far distance there, it's again probably one of the collective or state farms back in the Soviet era. It's now abandoned. Lithuania has a lot of very huge fields, as you see here. Not too many buildings. A much smaller farm. And now in the medieval city of Riga, Latvia. This is St. John's Church, built between the 13th and 19th centuries.
I'm rubbing the nose. That's it.
Rubbing the noses of these sculptures is supposed to bring good luck. So local art here made out of granite. It's supposed to be a cat about 6 feet long. Some sort of bird. There's a pig. Shiny piece of metal art. Up ahead over here in the distance is the Dome Cathedral. This is a restaurant here with a guy outside dressed as a medieval person. There again is the Dome Cathedral. It's the back side of it now. Different view of the backside, built in 1727, as you can see. Another church and tower. This is now the inside of the cathedral. I just finished recording the organ concert here. I heard it, I could record it. It's the fourth largest organ in the world, 6,768 pipes. Here's some old tunes. There's a little bit of music being played now, not a concert, but kind of tuning. This is the Art Museum, built in 1855. Off in the distance there, about 50 yards, is St. George's Church. Twin steeples here. There are three houses here called the Three Brothers, each built in a different century. It's the oldest building in town, built in the 1400s. This house here is built in 1646. And the green one there is built in the 1700s. This is St. Jacob's Cathedral. The interior is supposed to date back to 1225. It used to be a Lutheran church, now it's a Catholic cathedral. Cathedral now seen from the other side. This is called a powder tower. It's the only original of the 18 towers that used to stand in the city walls. Built in the 1300s. This is a Freedom Monument built in 1935. Just about to have the changing of the guard. Up at the very top, the 3 stars to refer to the 3 cultural regions of Latvia. This is the Russian Orthodox Cathedral, built in the 1800s. In the Soviet Union time, they used this as a planetarium. This is the inside. Here's another Russian church, a very small one. And now the inside. This is now out of the old city. Still rather old buildings. Another church. Here's some wooden buildings in style they had in the 1800s. This street now is a whole row of buildings from the 1700s and 1800s, very elegant. Let's see. Some close-ups now of the same buildings. Built in 1898. There's yet another building. This appears to be an embassy now. These 2 buildings are known as the Blackhead's House. It's a copy of what was built in 1344 to house the guild members, the German guild who were bachelors. It was destroyed by the Germans in 1941 in the bombing raid and rebuilt about 10 years ago. The background is St. Peter's Church, bombed again by the Germans. The bottom part, the top part was destroyed and rebuilt after the war. Rooster at the top instead of a cross. We have at home in the Evangelical Reformed Church. So this part is all new. The center part is old. There's Germans right there. His father was bombing smithereens out of this place. Yet another view, closer up.